experience at the University of Oklahoma started in 1966. I was a high school student at Purcell, Oklahoma, and got a scholarship to two places, Oklahoma State University and the University of Oklahoma. And fortunately for me, the scholarship at the University of Oklahoma was a little larger than the one from OSU.
Good.
And so I decided to go to the university, and it made a huge difference in everything I've done since then. The thing that happened, it's one of those things that life leads you in certain ways, and I think sometimes it's providence bound, but it leads you in ways that you don't expect. But I got a scholarship. The scholarship had the requirement for some work at the university. It was called a Lou Wentz Service Scholarship. And I was assigned to work in the Industrial Engineering School office for Dr. Bob Shapiro. And he had a secretary whose name was Huffman, Mrs. Huffman. Her husband was a professor in the geology school. And they became mentors to me. He got me involved in a company that he had started, a consulting company. And so I was one of the student engineers for a while, and then ended up as the team leader, I guess you'd call me, for the students when we'd go out and do projects. I went to law school and focused on technical types of work, things involving technical and scientific topics, and it's mostly been litigation, lawsuits involving technical issues. And that's been products liability, and then in the last 15 years, patent cases involving patents and technology. Education in itself, the industrial engineering education that I got, caused me to be a problem solver, I think. And that, if you think about it, the things that I do in the law, it's a very similar thought process.
To engineering, right?
What you do as a lawyer is you look at a problem that a client has, you look at the elements of the law that apply to it, and then you apply the law to the facts, and then you come up with some advice for your client. Well, that is exactly how you solve an engineering problem. And so the confidence that you get in understanding how to solve a complex technical problem is the same thing that you have to do when advising clients as a lawyer. And so the training that I feel like I got as an undergraduate student in engineering school has prepared me for the things I do as a lawyer today. Two things. One is that an undergraduate education is not going to be enough in the world that we will live in. I think think about in your beginning, as you plan, think about a graduate degree of some kind. And that doesn't always mean it's an engineering degree. You may tack on a business degree, master's in business. You may tack on a law degree, as I did, or a graduate education in engineering. But I think that it's important, as technical as things are, that we all think about that as a part of our future. Number two, and this is a little atypical in some ways from an academic thought, but have fun. The school, when I look back on it, my years here at the University of Oklahoma as a student were some of the most fun times of my life. But I'm not sure I appreciated it at the time,
yes,
because it was a lot of work also. I can remember going to Texas Tech University, and one of the faculty members took us down there, and we had the big, long University of Oklahoma red station wagon. It had a big OU logo on the side, and somehow the university had those in those days, and we got permission to take it on this trip. And so all of us, the students and our professor, we loaded in that station wagon, went down to Texas Tech. And so that evening, the professor had something he had to do, and there were 2 or 3 of us that wanted to go out and see if we could find some nightlife in Lubbock, Texas, which is pretty hard to find.
Yes, sir.
But in any event, we went out in the OU wagon and drove around Texas Tech.
Oh, no.
And we survived. I don't know how.